You've probably been told you're different your whole life. Maybe people say you're wise beyond your years, or that you're mature for your age, yet still carry a spark that feels young and fresh. That's not a coincidence. That's because you're an INFJ, and INFJs are truly ageless. Now, when we say ageless, we're not talking about physical appearance. This isn't about skincare, makeup, or how many birthdays you've had. Agelessness is something deeper. It's about your energy, your mind, your spirit, your soul. And INFJs naturally carry that timeless energy in everything they do. So what makes INFJs ageless? It's the way you think, the way you feel, the way you observe the world. You're always learning, always growing, always evolving. You don't chase trends, you create meaning. You don't live on the surface, you live from the heart. And that alone puts you in a space that time can't really touch. People might not understand it. They might ask why you're so calm, or intense, or focused, while others are chasing the next big thing. That's because you've got something they can't explain, a timeless presence. You move through life like someone who's lived many lives. And at the same time, you keep discovering new things about yourself, like someone who's just getting started. In this video, we'll break down 6 clear reasons why INFJs are truly ageless, in mindset, energy, and soul, and why accepting this part of yourself is important. Because once you realize that your value doesn't come from numbers or trends, but from the depth of your spirit, you'll start seeing yourself differently. You'll stop trying to fit into the world's timeline, and you'll start living by your own rhythm. Let's begin. Reason 1. Deep intuition connects you with timeless wisdom. INFJs are guided by something more than logic or facts. They're led by their intuition, a deep inner voice that helps them understand people, patterns, and life itself. This intuition isn't random, it's rooted in awareness, and it often gives them insights that feel years or even lifetimes ahead of others. While most people need time to figure things out, INFJs just know. They sense people's true intentions. They predict emotional outcomes. They see beneath the surface. This ability makes them feel timeless. They're not stuck in the now. They're connected to something bigger. This is part of what makes others turn to INFJs for advice. Even at a young age, people can feel the wisdom they carry. Even when the INFJ doesn't speak much, their energy says, "I understand more than I show." That kind of energy is rare, and it doesn't age. Have you ever had a moment where you gave someone advice, and they were shocked by how accurate it was? You might not have had all the facts, but you just felt what was going on. That's not magic, it's your INFJ intuition, and that inner wisdom is ageless. This kind of knowing also connects INFJs to ancient truths. They're drawn to philosophy, psychology, spirituality, and stories that go beyond time. They ask big questions. Why are we here? What is the purpose of pain? What do people need to feel truly loved? These are questions that have been asked for centuries, and INFJs ask them naturally, like they've always been searching for the answers. Because of this, INFJs often feel connected to both the past and the future. They understand old souls, and they dream of better tomorrows. They blend tradition with vision. That combination makes them hard to place. Are they young? Are they old? Truth is, they're both, and neither. The world may move fast, but INFJs stay grounded in something deeper. They don't chase every trend. They don't follow every crowd. Instead, they move with purpose. That kind of energy doesn't age. It only gets stronger over time. So when someone tells you that you seem older than your age, or that you've got a calm or wise vibe, believe them. Your intuition isn't just a trait. It's a gift, and it connects you to something that time can't touch. That's the power of being ageless. Reason 2. Emotional resilience that defies age. Life can be tough, and INFJs feel it all. They don't just see what's happening, they feel it, deep in their bones. But what makes them special isn't just how deeply they feel, it's how they bounce back. INFJs carry emotional resilience. They get hurt, yes, but they also grow from that pain. They reflect, they process, and they heal. This ability to recover and rise stronger is what keeps them emotionally young. Think about it. People who stay stuck in pain, bitterness, or anger, they age fast on the inside. Their energy gets heavy. But INFJs don't want to carry all that weight. They work through it. They cry if they need to. They journal. They talk to themselves honestly. They want to understand the pain, not just feel it. This emotional work keeps them light, not because life is easy, but because they don't let emotions rot inside them. They transform pain into meaning. They don't avoid feelings. They deal with them. That's emotional strength. That's growth. And growth keeps you young at heart. Also, INFJs don't just recover, they learn. Every heartbreak, betrayal, or failure becomes part of their story. It shapes them, but never hardens them. They don't lose their softness. They become stronger and softer at the same time. That balance is rare and timeless. Another reason INFJs feel ageless is because they support others through pain too. Their calm presence, deep listening, and kind words help people heal. And through helping others, INFJs also heal themselves. It's a cycle of emotional renewal that keeps their heart open and alive. And let's not forget the power of solitude. INFJs use alone time to rebuild. They don't need constant noise or distraction. They can sit in silence, feel everything, and come out wiser. That kind of self-awareness is a major part of why they seem calm, steady, and centered, even after everything they've been through. Emotional resilience isn't about pretending to be okay. It's about facing the hard stuff and still choosing to grow. That's what INFJs do. And that's why, no matter how many years go by, their energy stays fresh. People age from the inside first, but INFJs keep renewing their emotional world, and that renewal is what makes them ageless. Reason 3. Inner growth over time creates timeless beauty. INFJs don't just grow up, they grow inward. Every year, they become more thoughtful, more aware, and more connected to who they really are. That kind of inner growth creates a beauty that can't be explained by age, style, or trends. It's timeless. You might notice that INFJs often glow in a quiet way. It's not about makeup or clothes. It's about presence. There's something in their eyes, their voice, or the way they sit in silence that feels centered. That's inner beauty, and it comes from doing the inner work. While others focus on outward success or appearance, INFJs focus on understanding themselves. They ask, what are my values? What am I meant to do here? How can I live in a way that's true to my heart? These questions shape their life, and over time, shape their energy. And this kind of self-awareness builds confidence, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that doesn't need approval. It's the kind of confidence that says, I know who I am. That confidence is rare and beautiful. As INFJs move through life, they keep reflecting. They keep growing. They admit when they're wrong. They face their fears. They challenge their old beliefs. And each step forward adds depth to who they are. People around them notice this. Friends may say, you just keep getting better with time, or you seem more peaceful now. That's because the INFJ isn't staying the same. They're becoming more themselves. And that's a kind of beauty that doesn't fade. Inner growth also brings emotional balance. INFJs learn to stop people-pleasing. They set boundaries. They speak up more. They stop chasing perfection. Instead, they live more honestly. That honesty brings freedom, and freedom is attractive. This beauty isn't loud or flashy. It's soft. It's real. It builds over time. And once it's there, no one can take it away. So when you hear someone say, you look better now than you did 10 years ago, believe it. That's the beauty of becoming whole. That's what makes INFJs truly timeless, because real beauty doesn't come from age. It comes from growth, and INFJs are always growing. Reason 4. Embracing life's lessons and experiences. INFJs don't just live through life, they learn from it. Every relationship, every challenge, every win or failure becomes part of their story. And they don't just collect memories, they collect meaning. This ability to grow wiser with each experience is a huge reason why INFJs are ageless. While some people repeat the same mistakes over and over, INFJs reflect. After a hard experience, they ask, what did this teach me? How can I avoid this again? What does this say about me or about life? That reflection turns pain into wisdom, and wisdom never gets old. It actually keeps you young in spirit, because it makes life feel rich, not empty. You're not just surviving, you're learning. Think of INFJs like emotional and spiritual gardeners. They plant seeds from every lesson they learn. They water those seeds with reflection, time, and care. And eventually, Those seeds grow into compassion, insight, and strength. That process makes them wiser with age, but never jaded. Because INFJs don't just grow older, they grow deeper. They also live with intention. They don't just let life happen to them. Even when they go through tough times, they try to make those moments count. They want to find the reason why. And when they do, they change. They level up. They let go of what no longer fits. This means that every year of their life adds something real to their character. More self-knowledge, more emotional tools, more spiritual strength. And because they carry that energy, people around them feel it. They might not be the loudest person in the room, but they often feel like the most grounded. INFJs also share their lesson. They write, create, listen, and guide others. They don't need to preach. They just live their truth. And people pick up on it. They learn from the INFJ's journey too. That's why INFJs often feel ageless. Because their wisdom doesn't come from a textbook or a trend. It comes from living deeply and learning honestly. Time doesn't make INFJs old. It makes them richer, stronger, more rooted. That's real growth. And real growth is timeless. Reason 5. Creative expression and imagination. Keep you vibrant. INFJs don't just see the world, they imagine new ones. Their inner world is filled with stories, dreams, colors, emotions, and visions that others don't always see. They often turn that inner world into something beautiful. Writing, music, art, poetry, deep conversations, or creative ideas. This creativity isn't just a hobby, it's fuel, and it keeps them vibrant, curious, and alive. While some people get stuck in routines, INFJs stay connected to imagination. Even as they grow older, they don't lose that spark. In fact, for many INFJs, imagination grows stronger with time. Life experience gives them more to say, more to express, and more ways to connect their inner world with the outer one. And here's something important. Creativity keeps you young. It keeps your brain active, your heart open, your spirit free. INFJs know this instinctively. When life gets hard, they often turn to creativity as a way to process emotions and reconnect with themselves. Have you ever lost track of time while writing something, painting, or daydreaming? That moment where you feel totally present, fully alive, that's the energy that keeps INFJs feeling ageless. They enter flow states often, and flow is timeless. Even if they don't share their work publicly, INFJs create because it helps them feel whole. They turn silence into beauty. They turn pain into poetry. They take invisible feelings and give them shape. That act of creating brings joy, even healing, and that joy shows on the outside. They also use creativity in everyday life, solving problems, helping others, or planning something meaningful. INFJs don't need a stage. Their creativity shows up in thoughtful gifts, carefully chosen words, or meaningful ideas. And because they never stop imagining, INFJs never stop dreaming. They keep hope alive, even when the world feels dark. They imagine better futures, better lives, better versions of themselves. That hope, that creative fire, keeps them emotionally youthful. So if someone ever tells you you haven't changed a bit, it's probably because your imagination is still burning strong. And that fire, that's your glow. That's your light. That's your ageless power. Reason 6. Continuous personal transformation and self-renewal. INFJs are not the kind of people who stay the same forever. They're always growing, evolving, changing, and not in small ways. INFJs go through deep personal transformations over time, shedding old layers and discovering new parts of themselves. That's what makes them feel ageless. Some people get stuck in a version of themselves and never grow past it. But INFJ, they outgrow themselves all the time. They reflect, reassess, and rewrite their path over and over. Each time they learn something new, they change how they live. They may leave jobs that no longer match their values. They may end relationships that no longer feel real. They may switch life directions completely, not out of fear, but out of clarity. INFJs crave alignment, and when they sense something is no longer true to who they are, they let it go. This kind of self-renewal isn't easier. It requires honesty, courage, and deep inner work. But INFJs are wired for that. They aren't afraid of looking within. In fact, they need to. Their soul pushes them to evolve. And every transformation they go through brings them closer to their real self. Over time, This pattern of growth creates a sense of freedom. INFJs don't need to pretend. They don't need to follow the crowd. They don't fear change. Because they've done it so many times, they know they can do it again. This mindset keeps them emotionally and spiritually flexible. And flexibility is what keeps people young. When you're always growing, you're always becoming. And when you're always becoming, time can't define you. INFJs often surprise people they haven't seen in years. Maybe it's their energy, their mindset, or the way they carry themselves, but something feels different. That's because the INFJ has gone through a quiet inner shift. They're not the same as before. They're better, stronger, lighter. This cycle of shedding and renewing is what keeps INFJs fresh, not just in looks, but in soul. They know that life isn't about staying the same. It's about staying true. And that journey of truth is what keeps them forever evolving and forever ageless. Being ageless isn't about denying time. It's about rising above it. As an INFJ, you carry a timeless spirit. You think deeply, feel deeply, grow deeply. You heal, evolve, and shine in ways that defy numbers or calendars. You're not here to chase youth. You're here to live truth. And that truth keeps your soul vibrant no matter your age. So accept it. Own it. Live it. You're not behind. You're not fading. You're becoming more you every day. And that's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you ageless.